and to understand that they are as innocent as Jesus unless they are convicted of a crime.
When you're pimping bitches like me, it's a full-time job.
Like I used sex as a tool to make women love me so they'd obey me and live in my house to make me money. That's what I wanted. So I was a pimp in that sense.
So yeah, on corporatate.com I have my PhD program, and that is PhD is a pimp and hose degree. That teaches basically how I got girls, how I met girls, how I got girls to like me, how I got girls to fall in love with me to work on webcam for me.
Second man she ever f***ed in her whole life. Beautiful, big, natural tits. So cute. Man, it hurt her at every moment that I was doing it, but it felt good for me, so who gives a shit?
I learned every tip and trick it takes to make sure a girl gets paid. I know how to make sure the girl can't run away. Because once you teach a girl how to do this, she has the ability to make unlimited money from home. Why would she still give it to you? Why would she just run off and keep it all for herself?
True abundance mindset of you can have the pick of the crop. You can have the world's most attractive women. I mean, one of my main chicks has 200,000 Instagram followers, and I took her virginity when she was 17.
That's right, lock the door, you knew I was going to beat the out of you. If you behaved, I wouldn't have to hit you, would I? You don't. Get out. You can't stay in there forever.
Well guys, right when you think that the alpha male universe just can't get any more ridiculous, and right when you think that Andrew Tate and his little situation just can't get any more goofy, all of these clowns and goobers just continue to find a way to somehow continue to embarrass themselves as they make things even more outrageous and just downright stupid. And naturally, since we'll be talking about the one and only Andrew Tate today, along with his dumbass lawyer who is somehow managing to match him and dipshittery, it is of course gonna be a pretty damn good one. So with that being said, the last time that we even discussed Andrew Tate, along with his brother Tristan Tate, was only a couple of days ago, where for some reason, beyond anybody's fucking comprehension, Wesley Peg Watson decided that he was gonna squeeze his way into the entire situation, even though he himself is also locked up. And we watched him being mad as hell that Andrew was constantly on Twitter, basically complaining about the water in the showers and the faucet being dirty, along with the guy next door to him eating paint chips. And when he wasn't bitching, he was just having little mini mental breakdowns that they're coming to take him out. So of course, when the Pegster saw this shit, he did not like it very much at all, and decided to go on a little unhinged cokehead rant for absolutely no reason at all.
Tate's saying it's inhumane, it's cold, they're starving. I haven't eaten in 3 days, motherfuckers, so shut the fuck up about that. I've chosen not to eat for 3 days because the food makes me sick. They chose to be PC because they are scary. I don't give a fuck. Motherfuckers booked here all the time. Motherfuckers get that shit put on them all the time. Motherfuckers get robbed for their canteen in this bitch. Motherfuckers get that shit. It shit happen every day. My team right here, where I'm at right now, we got the foot on their neck. Nobody can fuck with us. That's just how it is. It's always been that way. Motherfuckers swore I'd have a hard time in Florida lockup. You guys just don't get it. You think like maybe they're driving me in a cop car by myself like them motherfuckers? Fuck no. I'm on a bus with everybody else. Because guess what? I don't need no fucking shit just catered to my ass.
And of course, like anyone would expect, Andrew Tate paid the Pegster absolutely no attention and has been continuing to go on this spree of just dropping the alpha male act and crying, bitching, and moaning nonstop on Twitter for basically the entire week, where he has kept up his usual post talking about being in the shoe, and that's basically complaining about no commissary, phone calls, or yard time, and all of that dumb shit, but has also just been saying some downright crazy shit, like talking about how he lays awake unamused by the whispers of ghosts, and they speak taunts in his ear as he stares out the window of his cell. And since he didn't react, it seems that they moved on to the cell next door, where he could hear a man screaming in terror throughout the night. So this man is quite literally apparently hearing whispers of ghosts as he's sitting in this cell, and is actually just being dramatic as a motherfucker. And I want you to keep in mind that this was the guy who was always talking about how mentally strong he is, and how nothing fazed him. But all that shit just dropped when it seems he's started facing some type of consequences to any of the shit he's done. And it only kept getting more ridiculous as he went on, because in other tweets, he was basically just talking about how the cells are small rooms, hypercharged with negative energy, and there are full-grown men crying tears after murdering their wives, self-deletions in the middle of the night, and it takes a constant chi to repel the spiritual attacks. So this motherfucker's in there using his chi, basically like some anime shit, trying to repel all of the negative energy. And then in other posts, he's basically telling stories that occurred in the pitch black of the night, where it's conversations between other prisoners, and he's talking about one of them giving off a demonic roar erupting from another cell, and it was a deep and raspy scream coupled with furious bangs on the door, and how apparently the arguing just woke up a demon in another cell. So the guy is just having a terrible time in the shoe and is not handling it well at all. But I guess he has found some inspiration, and it has gotten better some days, because apparently he has had his goober fanboys out there just doing anything and everything to cheer his goofy ass up. And all four of them have been just showing out and showing up to display their support for their poppy. And apparently he's noticed it because he's made tweets talking about one of them doing push-ups for him, which actually wasn't a lie, and they were proudly posting themselves outside of the jail doing push-ups for the Tate, which is pretty crazy when you think about it, that this is the best thing these clowns had to do with their time.
I know Andrew's proud. Good squeeze. Good karma. Power level right there. 60. Yes, sir. You see that? That's what Andrew wants us to do. Brotherhood, take care of your body, take care of your family. There's nothing to get locked up about.
And as you even heard them say, they're trying to make Andrew proud, which is actually just wild. And when his fanboys haven't been doing this, which I mean isn't anything too bad, it's just pretty damn goofy and one of the most pathetic things that I think I've ever seen. There have also been other ones who have been trying to fly a drone up to go ahead and look at him and to see him in his cell, and got their dumbasses in trouble for it and ended up getting arrested for it because they're flying a drone towards a fucking jail.
He's doing a keto. He's doing a keto. No. That is Andrew Tate right there. He's watching us record this video, and nobody's going to offer this perspective that we're going to offer. And Andrew Tate's the only one that's going to understand it, and he's going to take our advice, and he will fly us out and have a meeting and a podcast with us.
And you can just tell by him in the background talking just how delusional all of these meat writers are at this point, and just how ridiculous they are. But this is not where the ridiculous bullshit even begins to end, because when it's not Andrew himself and not his little glazing fanboys who go nuts for him, it has also been his very own lawyer, who is as much of a goober as he is, because his lawyer has also been participating in the tweet off, and he has been getting highly upset that Twitter would dare to be hitting him with community notes that are correcting him and proving him wrong when he's saying something that is, you know, incorrect. And his response was to have a little mini crash out where he ranted about how the throngs of evil, fat, pasty British dwarves with bad teeth are enslaved by the UK Prime Minister to work in the community notes factory, and then just started talking about how the UK Prime Minister is cracking the whip on his slaves in the community notes gulag, and is just having an unhinged little rant all about community notes. So he himself is already just such a fucking goober, and continues to be a goober, as he just started ranting about how World War III is here because Andrew Tate got arrested, and cried about Andrew not getting access to nail clippers while in the shoe, along with the radio, TV, and all this other bullshit. And he's just been really upset about him being in the shoe in general, even though it's for his own protection, and even though he was worried about his safety, and not too long ago was just ranting about him being in danger because of the accusations. But now he's gonna cry about the shoe instead, even though it's, you know, keeping him safe, because it just fits his narrative. And when he hasn't been tweeting and going nuts, he also has been doing this little media tour, and during the tour it's just been getting really ridiculous, because he's been saying shit like this where he's worried about Andrew getting taken out as well, and where he's being forced to go in every day and do check-ins just to make sure he's alive.
Today is August 4th. It is 2:30 p.m. We were just denied entry into the jail, FDC Miami, to see Andrew and Tristan Tate for 2 days in a row. So the second day in a row, I've been denied entry. We came here today at 9 o'clock in the morning because we were denied last night. Last night, the guy in there didn't like my jacket. So we had a little back and forth. I said, you know what, I'll just come back tomorrow. You want to deny me the right to see my client? I'll go back, write it in the book, put it in motion. We show up today, 9 o'clock in the morning. Jail's closed. Who the hell closes a jail? The jail's closed. Come back at 2 o'clock. We're here at 2 o'clock sharp. We get in line. I get my locker, put my stuff in there. I go to the front. They're about to check me in. McBride, come in. Sorry, sir, you can't come in. We're closing the jail again. So we come here every day to do what? To obtain proof of life, to make sure that Andrew and Tristan are still alive and kicking. Because for all you morons out there that like to liken them to Epstein, as I said, you're calling for their death. So we make sure that they're alive, that they're kicking, and that they're well. We also go over legal strategy, we go over our legal papers, and we do all the legal stuff that we need to do. But the jail's closed today.
And he has been really spiking this shit up as he decided to have a little emergency meeting just like Andrew used to have. And during it, he started expressing concerns yet again about this same thing where they're coming to kill Andrew, and he's even worried about people coming after him as well. And he ends up basically just declaring that they believe that they are actually trying to kill them. And it's no longer just a worry, but it's something that they think is happening, and they think that their lives are in danger and that they're going to get taken out in this Florida jail. So we're just being overly dramatic and trying to say and do whatever we can. And it's just getting so pathetic and ridiculous.
Is Andrew and Tristan like fearful of their lives?
They're not fearful, but they're very much aware that they could be killed at any time. We literally go to the jail every day, sometimes twice a day, even though that we can't have a privileged conversation, even though we can't really work on the case there because there's no way to do it technology-wise. We go there for proof of life. We believe that their life is without question in danger. Jeffrey Epstein was killed in jail. Other people are killed in jail every time, all the time. Again, when people say these guys are like Epstein, they're greenlighting the murder. They're greenlighting they're okaying it. They're saying it is societally acceptable for these guys to be whacked in jail simply because they've been accused of these crimes. Do I believe that their lives are in danger? Yes. Do they believe that their lives are in danger? Yes. So are they trying to kill them now? We 100% believe the answer is yes. So their life is in danger? Sure, my life is in danger. I have to take security precautions all the time, as do they when they move in this world. But we're fighting against evil. We're fighting against evil.
So as you can tell, he is really taking this angle that we're worried for their health, we're worried for their safety, and we think they're coming for him. Even though, as you've seen, at the same time he's bitching about them being in the shoe, so he's not that concerned about their safety. And this little emergency meeting just continued to get more insanely ridiculous as he starts ranting about how they're generals at one point, and how we can't let our generals get taken out, and President Trump needs to do something, and this is why he was elected.
They are two warriors, they are two generals, and this is like Leonidas and Maximus, are two of our greatest fighters standing in the arena. And what, we're just going to send them to the other side to be executed? It's unconscionable. It's unconscionable. This is a war of good versus evil. And this is precisely what he was elected for.
And he then tries to use this to try to get Trump involved even further by some miracle. And I guess that's his only option at this point and his best hope, which is just to get the president involved and get them pardoned. And starts doing everything and anything to reach out and to basically beg for the support. And even talks about how if they lose, that's going to be his Hail Mary, basically.
President Trump and other people who are watching this situation know that this is a stitch-up job. Every time I post something online, every time I say something online, it's nothing but bots. But any fair-minded and reasonable person can look at this and see that there's a synergy here between what happened in Trump and what is happening to these guys. And it's wrong, it's improper, it's evil, and it's unjust. It's anti-American. And the president of this country should care about it. The Secretary of State of this country should care about it. The people of this country should care about it. Because if you think it can't happen to you, if you think it can't happen to your husband, your father, your brother, your son, your boyfriend, your best friend, you're wrong. So if we beat extradition, if we get them bailed out, and if a decision is made not to extradite them, then the executive branch does not get involved. But if the extradition gets certified by the court, they can't be extradited without the Secretary of State's approval. So at that point, if it doesn't work out for us in court here, we will be going to them, and we will be saying all of these things that we're saying. We'll be laying it out very clearly, and we'll be saying, hey, listen, this is unfair, this is unjust, and Mr. President, if anybody in the world understands what it's like to be falsely accused and wrongfully convicted and be shot at and have your life in danger and be arrested and be put in jail and be run through the process for sticking up for what's right, it's you.
So as you can tell, it's pretty pathetic, and I think that their lawyer is just doing more harm than good at this point, because his biggest plan is to, I guess, just beg the president for help. And this little emergency meeting continues to get ridiculous, because we somehow go from all that craziness to him then basically comparing Andrew Tate to Jesus, where he is saying that he is as innocent as Jesus, and he just starts rambling about how he's innocent until proven guilty, so therefore, if you look at innocence, then Jesus is innocent, so therefore, I guess Andrew Tate equals Jesus's level of innocence, and it just doesn't make any sense. I don't even know why he felt the need to do this, but it was just a really bad emotional argument.
Woman or child watching this podcast is to see past your own preconceived notions and to understand that they are as innocent as Jesus unless they are convicted of a crime. And unless they are convicted of a crime, they shouldn't be punished. They shouldn't be in a gulag. They should have attorney access. They should have food. They should have the right kind of bed. They should have the right kind of water. They should have medical treatment. They should have your right to participate in everything that they can possibly participate in this world. Look, Andrew and Tristan are not perfect, but they are innocent until proven guilty. What does that mean? Think about the pinnacle of innocence. When I think about innocence personified, it's Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is the most famous wrongfully convicted person. He was wrongfully accused. People perjured themselves. They bared false witness against him. He was wrongfully convicted. He was beaten. He was tortured. And then he was murdered in front of the whole world. The presumption of innocence means that you are as innocent as Jesus Christ. That may make a lot of people uncomfortable, and good. They should be uncomfortable because that's a real fact. That is a real truth. Innocence means absolutely innocent. It means sinless. It means without sin. You are innocent until proven guilty. And the Constitution says that you cannot be punished until you've been convicted of a crime. So when you think of innocence, you think of Jesus. When you think of innocence, you think of the Virgin Mary. When you think of innocence, you think of an innocent child. You think of a good mother, of a good father going about their daily activities, and then all of a sudden they're ripped out of their life and they're thrown into a cell. And the answer is what? They should be punished?
And yeah, like I said, this is some of the most ridiculous shit that I think I've heard in a hot minute, to claim that these two, of everybody, are as innocent as Jesus. With all of the shit they've said alone, even if they weren't convicted as a crime, they are not anywhere near as innocent as Jesus. But somehow we're trying to make that statement, and it's just embarrassing at this point. Like, he is really just saying anything and doing anything to try to change the public image of how everybody is viewing these absolute clowns. And instead of making any type of real argument, it's basically the nuh-uh argument, and they're basically on the same level as Jesus when it comes to innocence. Like, what are we doing? And I think that this is where we're gonna end it, because I just can't take any more of this clown, and it just doesn't get any more ridiculous than that bullshit right there, where he has the audacity to make that type of claim. But with that said, if you enjoyed, please drop the sub and a like, and join the Saints Mafia, where we are flaming all of the alpha male dipshits. And I'm out, watching Andrew Tate have a terrible time in jail. And peace.
Because that's what I did. That was my MO, was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me. And that's how I got rich. So that teaches everything I know from start to finish about not only getting girls, not only obtaining them, but retaining them. 10 hours of me explaining everything I know from start to finish from my career as a webcam pimp.